Hello. Today we are here with Des Rafata, if I'm saying that
Yeah,
right,
yeah, you did.
to talk about, oh great, to talk about his fabulous band Devil Driver, his amazing vocals, and their latest album that is coming out May 12th. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Um, so I am interviewing you with United Rock Nations, which is a French magazine. Donc aujourd'hui nous parlons à Des Fafara, qui est le chanteur de Devil Driver, et leur album qui sortira le 12 mai. First of all, congratulations on the album. It is absolutely stellar.
Thank you very much. There's been a lot of accolades lately. It's been really cool. Thank you.
A lot of time as well, because I saw that when you did the first volume, you'd already either partly written the album or had fully written the album.
Yeah, so they were both written at the same time and actually meant to come out back to back a year apart from each other. But of
All
course,
right.
with the state of the world,
Yep.
that didn't happen. And we released Volume One in the height of the pandemic in 2020. It got to number 3 or 4 in the United States, right behind Lamb of God and Testament over the year, which is amazing. I felt like a lot of people felt like, well, don't release music when you can't tour on it. The record may not do well. That wasn't my thought at all. My thought was to give people music when they were locked in their houses.
Exactly.
Right. So now they were supposed to come out a year apart, but with everything that went down, as well as myself in late 2000 and 2021 contacting COVID and almost passing away,
Yeah.
I had to take 2022 off, and then I wanted to release Volume 2 when I could tour on it. And that's this year. So we just got off a very successful co-headline run in the United States with Cradle of Filth, and that was great. Almost all the nights are sold out. And getting ready to release Dealing with Demons #2, May 12th on Napalm Records, and I'm excited. May 12th is also my birthday. So oddly enough,
I missed that detail.
Oddly enough that they would pick that date, but me and Anastasia were like, okay, let's go with it. This is a good omen,
Do it.
Yeah.
Well, how has, getting back into touring and everything been after everything you went through since 2020?
Well, it took me about 14 months where I could actually get on treadmill and run a mile or so. It left me with some heart problems and stuff. It was really, it was nasty, and it's been incredible now. I mean, I worked my way up from being able to walk one house up and one house back, and I had to sit down. Like, that's where I was at. I actually lived downstairs in my living room for about 8 months because I couldn't navigate my stairs. So then going from that to getting to be, on a treadmill running 5 miles with a sauna suit on and singing the set at the same time, that was when I knew I could do it. And I only want to go on stage if I can do it the way that I've done it my whole career. So this tour in 2023 broke it out. It was great. We had great shows. I feel good.
I mean, as far as
I'm ready.
I've seen, the shows are.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go again.
The
Yeah.
shows are like fully there, like super energetic. The crowd is reacting absolutely like crazy. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you can just
Yeah,
feel the energy in the room.
Yeah, if you look at some of those YouTubes, it's out of control. And I mean, I've had guys that are ex-members of Devil Driver that have come to shows actually and said, that this is the best I've seen the band. This is the best I've heard you. This is the best, which are just great compliments after where I was at in 2022. So we're ready to go. We're getting ready to announce another second leg in the United States. I cannot fly overseas just yet. Right? Like, I can't take really long flights.
Someday.
Yeah, high altitude flights yet, but I'll get there. But when that day comes, I mean, Europe better get ready. Europe and the UK better get ready because
we're waiting for it. We're ready. We're all going to be there.
Yeah, cool.
So it's, since a lot of this was written at the same time as Volume 1, how was the creative process in doing this? Because I know you were very excited about Volume 2, a bit more so than Volume 1, maybe.
No, I wouldn't say more so, but what I was excited about is, and you could probably, a lot of people agree with me, when you take on doing a double record, usually the second record is full of B-sides and leftovers. And I mean, I could sit here and name 5 bands where that's true. And we didn't want to do that. So we overwrote. We kept the record short, 36, 38 minutes, because they're meant to be listened to together, actually. We took some chances, which was great. A song like Wishing, for most heavy metal fans would have absolutely turned against them. But people understand I was raised on Sisters of Mercy and Bauhaus and The Cure, and I was raised on punk rock and goth and psychobilly, and then I became heavy metal and found heavy metal, through those other genres. So, yeah, the question is it's hard to answer, but here's where I want to go with this: is that we, as a brand, most heavy metal bands have to stick to their brand like Coca-Cola. They can't come out of it, or the fans leave them in droves. But we're not held to that same fire. Like, I'm so thankful for that every record sounds different from Devil Driver. We can take different chances. And I certainly was very excited for Volume 1. I knew that it had a lot to offer. And like I said, it debuted high. It came out all over the place. Did very well for us, right? But there was something special about Volume 2. And I could not put my finger on it. But the more I listened to both of the volumes in a row, I would start hearing like the split in the records where it should be. And I started to hear Volume 2 coming together. And then when we got the final sequence for Volume 2, I was just like, I cannot wait to release this to the public. It's when you have, like, there's certain places that are hard all over the world, really, to gauge. But I just got off an interview the other day with Germany, a huge magazine. And the guy said to me, like, very straight face, like, this is the best. And he's like, look, I'm a fan of Devil Driver. He goes, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is the best record you guys have ever released. If you keep up wherever you're going with this, I want to hear the next 3 or 4 records. And I was like, okay, that's it. That's the statement that you want to hear after having, 10 records out. I've had, much more than that with my previous band, Coal Chamber, as well. So I've had a very long career. And I say this as well, like, if you get 4 years in this career and 2 records, it's a miracle. If you get 7 years and 3 or 4 records, it's a miracle. If you get 10 or 12 years, you get up every day on your knees until they bleed and thank the universe. But the fact that I've been here since 1993, 94, and I'm on the 10th record with Devil Driver, and it's getting this kind of high marks. I mean, someone also said to me, like, well, what do you attribute that to? And I said, I don't know. I guess not paying attention to what anyone wants. Like, just doing what we do, staying
true to yourself.
That's it. And like, I always say this, right? Like, so if you're a painter, say you're a painter, right? And you know that if you paint with a lot of red and blue colors, you're going to sell your art for $1 million. So that's all you do now is use red and blue. You're no kind of artist. You're actually not a real artist to me. If you skew your artistic vision towards the culture of the buying culture, or the person that's listening to you or viewing your art, you're no kind of artist. And so we've never done that with Devil Driver. I've never skewed my art at all. And I think that's
man, all my red and blue paintings, dang it.
It's analogy hell with me. I mean, I've got an analogy for everything, but that is like the analogy that's the analogy that's absolutely true with Devil Driver. We just kind of do what we do. And, I was getting tattooed the other day, and one of the younger tattoo guys, who's like 21, he's like, what do you guys even call yourself? Like, what is Devil Driver? And I literally looked at him and said, I don't know, man.
I mean, there are so many influences and like snippets of different genres, and like some of these songs are really experimenting with what you've been doing in this new album. It's so interesting.
Thank you.
What song was it? Through the Depths. First of all, the video is gorgeous.
Thank you.
And there was something inherently very dark about it. Yeah. And something I haven't really heard from Devil Driver until like this song. How did do you like pick and choose styles that you want to, I don't know, mess around with, or does it kind of come like through writing the lyrics? How does a mix kind of like that birth itself?
It's very natural with this band. Like I just say, start coming with some riffs. Okay, you've got a riff. That's a great riff. I got a lyric to that. Let me show you the lyric I have to that. Ooh, that sounds like a chorus. Let's come up with a verse for this. Give me a riff for this other riff. Ooh, that's a nice verse. That's a great chorus. All right, let's write a midsection, an intro, and outro because now we got one. And then let's keep rolling. But there's no like, let's talk about things. Let's make things a little more heavy. Let's make things a little more light. Let's try this and try that. It really never happens. Like even when Wishing was given to me, that's off volume 1, I, instead of saying, this is so out of the box and different for Devil Driver, immediately went in my booth and cut demo for it. And then listened to it, brought Anastasia in and said, what do you think of this? And she goes, oh my God. I love this song. And instead of trying to see what fits within the brand, let's see what doesn't fit in order to make something different and make something special, really. So yeah, it's very, I mean, very cliche to say, but it's very organic how this goes.
And very collaborative too, then.
Yeah, very collaborative. Absolutely.
No one comes in with like, oh, I have written this whole song.
And you got to understand, we threw like 15 to 20 tracks to the wayside, like because we overwrote. But the essence of art, how do I say this? I want to like dumb it down a little. Like the essence of art is to not get butthurt. That's it.
I like that.
Like if the crew thinks that this riff is kind of but you think it's the best, or even lyrically. I've had some of my band members go, I like that, but I think we can come up with a better chorus that suits the riff better. And instead of getting butthurt, I just go straight in my room and I just start to create. All right,
let's do it.
Yeah, I think it's essential, man. It's like, I mean, you're writing for France, so I'm talking about democracy, and that's where it comes from. That's where the United States found democracy. Is we came over and found it from you guys, and I think it's very democratic in this band. I mean, definitely. I mean, even when a member has left over the years or gotten cut loose over the years, it's a democratic thing. Like, hey, is this guy working anymore? No, man, please. So everything has got to be that way. I think. Don't get me wrong. I'll put my foot down on certain things, but I think the most important thing for me that I put my foot down on with any record is what song is opening the record. So we have these 10 songs. I have to be the one. And I changed the opening to volume 2 3 times actually. And the guy that mastered our record was like, God, don't change it again. I said, I won't. And I called him back 3 weeks later and said, I'm changing it. Finally, it was like, I have no pity. Finally, it was like, I have no pity has to open this record.
It totally works because we're like full on blasted into like this really like intense ambiance. It's like,
thank you.
It was a very good choice.
I appreciate it. I mean, every one of these songs is kind of like exploring, not to be cliche, but it's dealing with demons, right? So every one of these songs is exploring a demon, really, and exploring what we all go through as humans. Doesn't matter if it's, you behind a podcast or me, in my house smelling my wife making breakfast and I'm getting ready to go on tour. It's like we all deal with the same shit. We all deal with, the temptations of life. We all deal with somebody stabbing you in the back. There's so many demons I could go into. And that's what this whole record is about. And I Have No Pity is specifically about the demons that you have and I have together, which is if you keep stepping in the shit time and time again, don't call me about it. Like, number 1, I'll pick up the phone. Number 2 time you do it, I'll pick up the phone and try to counsel you. But number 3 time you step in the same shit, don't call me anymore. Like, I have no pity. I have no pity for you. Like, you don't learn, right? So it's in essence about humanity trying to learn lessons like quicker than on the 3rd or 4th time when you get screwed,
Well, some of these lyrics get really, really dark. I mean, the essence of the album. And I think one of my favorites has to be Nothing Lasts Forever.
My favorite song off the record.
Oh, yay. I was going to ask you that.
I take it wrong. It goes between This Relationship Broken and Nothing Lasts Forever, because those are kind of like companion songs. But yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But gosh, like the lyrics, it's just so raw, so like fully into the pain of that feeling. And how like do you like put yourself like kind of in an imaginary situation? Do you pull from something that's happened in your life?
I do. And I think when an artist stops going deep or meaningful with his lyrics, it falls apart for me. Like that's where pop music falls apart for me. Like you got 400 writers for one song. Like I can't,
Yeah.
I'm not feeling you, you know? Um, and maybe something definitely comes with age as well, to say something like nothing lasts forever, you know? And that is true. So I wake up every day, and before I grab my phone and do business, I say thank you to the universe that I have a breath today. And before I go to sleep at night, as I close my eyes, you know, besides, holding my wife's hand, we fall asleep holding hands every night. I say thank you for the universe for giving me today, right? So I think it's important to go deep. And do I put myself like in a place? Yeah, I mean, I write about what's happening in my own life, what I see around other people's lives, where I see humanity going, and both of those songs, This Relationship Broken and Nothing Lasts Forever, really can speak to the human factor in life, and that we're just here for a glimpse of time. If that, we're not even here for that. It's not even a blink, to be honest with you. So try to foster as much help, love, charity, kindness that you possibly can. Don't get me wrong. Be a fucking warrior. Like if you were to fuck with my family, if you were to walk in this store right now, you better be armed because you're done. I'm gonna, so be a warrior, but at the same time, you have to have this empathy in this lifetime right now. So I think humanity itself is losing a great empathy. I mean, we've always had war and things like that, but I think we're losing a great empathy. So we need to gain more. And these songs are certainly about that. They go deep, and if you read the lyrics, you'll quite understand what I'm trying to say.
I mean, there is something to be said about someone who is very open about their feelings, especially in art, especially in music. And
Yeah.
people feel that when it's genuine, when it's lived through, when it's, you got something to say, people are going to listen.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if you're an artist and you're not running deep, and it doesn't matter if you're a sculptor, painter, musician, if you're not running deep, it's not going to cut to the core with people. So, always try to put a little bit of yourself in it, and the only place you really get to know me is like interviews like this, which I rarely do on camera. I think I've done 3 for this whole session, and this is one of them.
Thank you so much.
I'm not saying that to say that, but thank you. What I actually do is I want people to hear my voice, not concentrate on, what's behind me, or I'm wearing a black shirt today or whatever, right? To concentrate on my voice in the interview. So I rarely do this, but I'm so private that if you don't get me lyrically, if you don't get some of me lyrically, and then some of this interviews, like, what are you going to get of me? So lyrically, I better come deep. Lyrically, I better give you something to remember. Like, and if I walked off the curb today and passed away, or if I passed away in 2021 from COVID, God forbid, for my family and hopefully other people, maybe I would leave something that would be a scar and a memory on this lifetime. And that's all I'm really trying to do as an artist, and have been trying to do since the beginning. I actually have an autobiography coming out between June and August this year that's done on Rare Bird Books. And I just say this because we're talking about the private topic, and I'm so private and so introspective and so narfed out. I mean, I'm a nerd for all intents and purposes. I'd rather watch Star Trek and hang out by myself than be in a group of people. So I
totally
think that
get
the book, yeah, there you go. And I know a lot of people can get that, right? But I think that the book is going to give people like a chance to really see like where I came from in my youth. And, I left home at an early age and slept under bridges and stole food. And there's a whole things that people don't know, right? So that goes along with lyrically as well. It's like, go deep with your lyrics, let people in a little bit on your life, try to keep some of your life private, which I've managed to do. My label's trying to get me to do a TikTok, and I've done it all.
Into it, like, don't.
social media, man, but I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be doing dances on TikTok, And they're like, well, just go ahead and cook. And I'm like, cook? Like I cook for my family, man. Like I don't cook for the world on TikTok. Like, I know there's some artists that'll do that, and God help them. They got millions of followers, but I'll take the followers that I have and not have to kind of go out and do that kind of a scenario. I'd like to keep my life a little semi-private. But lyrically, if you listen to my lyrics, especially on Dealing with Demons 1 or 2, you're going to get a lot of where I'm coming from at this point in my life.
Well, I'm glad I actually listened to them in the right way. I listened to both of them back to back.
Great. Good job. I mean, it's why they're so short, right? Because usually when a label contracts you, they'll be like, hey, you're contracted for 48 minutes of music. You're handing in 38 minutes. This is a break of a contract. This is a breach. And my label was like, no, we get it. They got to be listened to together, and we get it. So I thank them for that. And yeah, they're meant to be listened to together. I mean, I think it's like an hour and 10 minutes in total for both records, something like that. Or maybe less.
There is something to be said about like I don't know, just listening to them back to back really does make you delve deeper into like layers of things that you've gone through. It's very interesting.
Thank you.
Since they were both written at the same time, have you since then been working on something else? Is there an idea for something new?
I'm always doing art. So
there's always that smile.
Always doing art. I'm always working. I'm never sitting in front of the TV. I'm always doing art. My wife and I are both artists at heart. So yes, I'm already writing. John Miller, the original bass player that wrote the first 4 or 5 records, and the main writer for those records, has come back in the band and joined the band. And we have been writing. And all I can say is, like the first song that he sent me, I was like, this is Devil Driver. Like it was unbelievable. So yeah, I'm working. I'm always working,
Right. I'd like
to go back to where it was and get a record out every 18 to 22 months. I mean, when I grew up, I mean, you're a lot younger than me, but when I grew up, you got a record a year from your favorite bands, like every year. If you didn't get a record every year, it was weird. You know what I mean? Now it's like this 2, 3, 4, 5-year cycle for some bands. It's like, I want to get back to delivering a record like almost every year, because I got so much music in me, and time is of the essence right now for me in life. Because like I said, eventually, and I don't know when, it could be tomorrow. I have no idea when. I'm going to take a very slow walk from touring, and I'll let everybody know that, hey, come see a show, because, it's going to be it,
Funny enough, I'm actually the age of your career.
Okay.
You said,
great.
Hey, I started out in 94. I was like, oh, crap.
I love it. I mean, even as I'm doing these interviews, like I can't help but be appreciative to people and to the universe for giving me this life. I struggled so hard with it. I've been in bands since I was 14 years old. I mean, when I was 14, 15, 16 years old, I was a stand-up drummer in a psychobilly band. Like, I mean, I was in punk bands. I was in, it's like, so I rarely look back, right? Like, that's the first thing with me. Like, I'm not looking back. Like, I'll look back. I had to look back for my autobiography, and that was difficult on those phone calls I had. It was difficult, right? So I rarely look back. I try to only look forward. But as I take slight moments throughout even the day or now, and I look back, I just think to myself, like, thank you. I don't have any other words. And I hope people enjoy the art that I've done, and someday when I leave this world, I hope people enjoy the art that I've done over my lifetime. Really. It's been a labor of love, man. I've only had one record where it was like, fuck, can I just get through this? And I won't tell everybody what that record is, because it's like some people's favorite record. So then you're like, yeah, well, get back in that headspace and do another one like that. I'm like, no, I don't want to be there, so.
I just wanted to ask 2 final questions, and then I'll let you have a wonderful day. I have a question about singing. What have you kind of found is the best way to stay healthy vocally on tour?
Yeah, don't talk a lot during the daytime. and don't sound check ever.
No
If you're a singer,
sound check at all. Huh.
go, I sound check, I get my voice warm, I sing 2 songs, my voice is warm. Now it closes up, gets cold on me. Now I got a show in 4, 5, 6 hours, and it won't open back up. So I don't sound check. I stopped that long ago. Also, it doesn't matter if it's summertime, I've got a scarf around my neck. If I'm in the bus, I have a scarf around my neck. If I'm sleeping with a scarf for 30 days on tour. Yeah. So that's keep your voice warm and avoid talking all day long. You know, I have very little press on tours, maybe an hour a day on the phone, and never in person, because then I come home sick. I mean, the last tour we just got off a couple weeks ago, we both came home furiously sick with COVID. So, and that was because I was running around, I was going in the crowd, I was watching Cradle of Filth, I was up on Danny's bus, he was on my bus, you know, everybody was hanging out, and you know, it good thing that the very last day is when I started to get sick, because if that would have hit me, you know, say a week in, I would have been screwed. I would have had to cancel.
All right, no talking.
Yeah.
No talking, no sound checks. I'm actually interviewing Danny Filth next week.
One of my favorite people. I've managed him for years and years and years now. One of my favorite bands. You can go back to 1992, 93 and see photos of me wearing a Cradle of Filth hoodie. Also, like, hard for us to get business done because we're good friends, and he's one of the coolest guys that I know. Like, he's actually such a stellar individual. Like, just got a huge heart, great guy, honest, hardworking. Like, he deserves everything that he's got over the years, and you're going to enjoy talking to him. He's extremely literate. So
I mean, his lyrics do kind of imply.
He's very, very literate, very well educated. I'm a little more rough. I tend to have a little more fouler mouth than him, and use some cuss words and stuff. So even when him and I are talking, I try to watch it a minute, because he's such a gent, you know, he's such an English gent. And here I am, like, foul mouth fucking Californian, you know.
It's all right. Californians, we get a bad rap.
Yeah, but you know, say hi to him. I'm actually going to get on the phone.
I will tell him all of your compliments.
Yeah.
Anyways, you're going on tour. Well, you're not going on tour. You just went on tour. You're going to do Bloodstock in UK in August. But no other tour dates after your latest tour. You said you can't travel right away, but maybe.
We had to pull down Bloodstock. So we announced that weeks ago. We had to pull down. It was one of the only shows we pulled down. We've only pulled down 3 shows over the course of the 20 years. And that was one of them, because I can't travel long. And I love Vicky. I love Al. I love Bloodstock. God knows, whenever we play, we get a great reception. But it wasn't safe for me to travel that far away. And even the first tour that I just did was, if you notice, was all on the West Coast. So I could get home. I could get home to my doctor within a couple hours if something was possibly wrong, because COVID left me with heart problems. Right. So we'll see about coming overseas. I'm hoping by fall of next year I can make a run. But if not, it might have to wait until 2025. We'll see. You know, I just want to be safe. You know, when a doctor's like, look, you know, you cleared your heart out, you look good, you know, you're running, you're doing well, your heart looks well. And that's what I mean by you look good, your heart looks good, but you have a slight bit of inflammation in your lower heart. I wouldn't take any long, high plane flights for a long time. And I said, okay, usually I give everybody the middle finger and do what I want. But this guy went to school for 15 years for a reason. So, you know, I'll listen to. I have 11 now? Yeah. Okay. I got to get on another interview. So,
of course. Anyways, Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and good luck for the rest of your interviews.
Thank you very much. And say hi to Danny for me.
Of course. Bye. Have a nice day.